It's not okay for you to be a weak loser. It's not okay.
In this lifetime, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself.
Nobody cares, you know? At the end of the day, nobody cares. What we're going through, how your body feels, nobody cares. We gotta do our job.
I'm a man. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid to waste my life, because when I die, I'm going to paradise. And I'm not worried, so I'm in a hurry to die. But no one's going to disrespect me, and no one's going to write nonsense about me without me retaliating back.
Forget about anything that you can think of. You need to love pain. You need to love pain.
He who makes a beast of himself gets rid of the pain of being a man.
There's 10,000 times more going on inside the head of a man than you have any idea. He's carrying burdens that you don't have a clue about, and he don't know how to express them, and he don't know what to do about it, and he figures if he puts it out there and communicates it, he's just going to be shot down, called a fool, called weak, so he carries it inside, and you have no clue the burdens and the hell that most men are carrying inside and not even showing you.
There is no shame to admit that you're afraid, because there is no courage without fear. And when I made peace with that, it changes everything in my life.
But in the Bible, it speaks that there's life and death and power in the tongue. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. Be careful with the things you consistently talk about.
The first two words of getting out of poverty are my fault. And the thing is it doesn't actually matter if it is your fault, but it is your problem. And so you have to solve it because no one else will.
There's nobody coming. There's nobody coming to save you. There's nobody coming to help you. A knight in shining armor isn't going to ride in and save you. You are the only one that's going to be able to save you. And all this time, you point your finger and you say, I can't do that because I was born here. Or I can't do that because I have this issue. Or I can't do that because they made fun of me. And you know what's going to happen? Nothing. You're going to get more of the same. You're going to get laughed at more. You're going to be ashamed more. You're going to be frustrated more. And you're going to really regret at the end of your life that you put off taking responsibility for yourself and building yourself into what could be.
So what you have to do is you have to start to recognize that there is something else that you can tap into that is much more powerful than your feelings, than your motivation, and that is discipline. You can apply this discipline. Look, you have a project that's due at work that you don't feel like working on right now. Doesn't matter that you don't feel like working on it right now. You impose discipline on the situation and you do what you're supposed to do. You have an exercise, you need to work out this morning, you haven't worked out yet, you wake up in the morning, you need to go work out, you don't feel like working out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you don't feel like working out. It doesn't matter. It's not part of the calculation. Discipline overrides that. Discipline trumps your feelings. And that is what you need to apply as a person, as a normal human being, no matter what you're doing in your life. You need to let discipline be your guide, not how you feel. That's what we need to do. And if you do that, you're going to end up with freedom.
Not you. You're too cold.
Yeah, because I think that emotions most of the time doesn't help us to deal with something. Of course, emotions is like spices for your life, but when you have some hard situation, you shouldn't use your emotions.
I should have stopped this fight with your father. I'm stopping this one now.
Don't, okay? Let me finish. I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
The dumb that I've done or the bad mistakes that I've made, they've taught me. You know, you learn. Like, that's why failure is so important. Like, failing and f***ing up and making mistakes, it's very important. That's how you learn. That's how the bad feeling that you get from something that you shouldn't have done or wish you didn't do or wish you did better. Like, especially failing at something where you half-assed it and you just feel like a loser. Like, that just teaches you. It teaches you to get your shit together.
Don't follow what most people do because you don't want the results that most people get. The average person is obese, likely to be divorced, and has less than 1K in the bank. It feels safe to do what everyone else is doing, but it's actually a terrible decision.
Pain is passed down from father to son and son to son. We have to, as black men, be mindful of that. Sometimes it's unfair, and sometimes we take it out on those we love. And I'm guilty of that frustration that we all have. But we have a responsibility and a duty to be fathers, not to just make babies, but to be real fathers. And you can't expect any good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or your daughter. So, be a man.
And when we look around at the world, and we look at all the problems, and we look at all the chaos, we have to take responsibility for ourselves for creating it. You're not living the best life that you want to live. You're not the person you want to be. You're not the person the 8-year-old you wanted to be. And I bet you're not even taking steps to become that person, are you? And that's what's wrong with the world. That's what's wrong with this country. We have a bunch of people that want to point fingers and defer responsibility off to anything and everything except the one thing that can change their entire lives. And that's looking in the mirror and saying, "F you, man. You did this to me. You made me this way, and I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to fix it by controlling all the things I can control. I'm going to control what I eat. I'm going to control what I drink. I'm going to control how I move. I'm going to control the information I put in my brain. I'm going to control how I treat people and who I surround myself with." And if you control those things, you are now in the driver's seat to create what it is you've always known that you were here to create.
Every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the face, man. Could be anything. Could be you get up and you walk downstairs, you got a flat tire and you're late for work and you got this and that. Life is going to throw all kinds of crazy shit at you, right? And you have to be ready for it and you got to deal with it. You can't curl up into a ball, you can't run away from it, you can't hide. You have to take all this head on.
Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Right now, we have a lot of weak men because it's been pretty good times. The good news about that is that it's so easy to beat them. You just have to show up.
So you didn't feel like getting up and getting after it this morning? Neither did I! But I'm here. Where you at?
And all this what does it matter? What does it matter? It just passes. Yo, if I disappear, like, who cares? Nobody cares, man. Seriously. Yo, and that's okay. That's life, okay? It just passes. It just passes.
So I had a Q&A this weekend. This one guy there was super frustrated. So he's like, I gained 20 pounds. I can't find my why. I can't find my purpose. I can't find motivation. Can't find a gym. He went on and on. So I said, hey, okay, relax. Just relax. Can you find your balls? Once you locate those, I need you to grab them. After you grab them, I need you to go find some shoes. If you got some shoes, you can go walk. You can go run. As far as a gym you can't find, do you have a floor where you live? Do some push-ups. Do some sit-ups. We're waiting to find purpose. We're waiting to find why. We're waiting to find all this before we start. The thing about it is this. Start now. So when you find your purpose and you find your why, you can get after it. Stay hard.
This is kind of part of being a man. It's like, you kind of got to f it all up a little bit.
I think so.
I think part of learning is dying. I think part of learning is you got to die a little bit. Because what is learning? Learning is me giving up on my old ideas. Those ideas have to die for me to be open to some new And so me learning how to be a better man, I had to die a little bit.
And a man provides. And he does it even when he's not appreciated or respected or even loved. He simply bears up and he does it because he's a man.
That's what sets us apart. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us men. We're not men because we face the battle and we get immediately victory every time a battle comes up. We're men because we face the battle and we stay in the battle when we feel like we're losing and we feel like we're getting beat up. But we stay in there and we keep fighting
and we plant our feet and we say, until death do our part, this is me, and I will fight this battle, regardless of what the battle is.
Well, so what do you do in the face of that suffering? Try to reduce it. Start with yourself. What good are you? Get yourself together for Christ's sake, so that when your father dies, you're not whining away in a corner, and you can help plan the funeral, and you can stand up solidly so that people can rely on you. That's better. Don't be a damn victim. Of course you're a victim. Jesus, obviously. Put yourself together. And then maybe if you put yourself together, you know how to do that. You know what's wrong with you, if you'll admit it. You know there's a few things you could polish up a little bit, that you might even be able to manage in your insufficient present condition. And so you might shine yourself up a little bit, and then your eyes will be a little more open, then you can shine yourself up a little bit more.
The human brain evolved under immense amounts of pressure, okay? That's how the brain works. And I almost like to think of it in terms of barometric pressure. So in your brain, when you're feeling that barometric pressure, it's like, I gotta get this done, or I'm gonna fail, and this project won't happen, and people will laugh at me. You work like a fiend. Energy, your whole body responds, right? Your blood gets moving. You accomplish things that would normally take you months, you do it in days because you feel that pressure. You take away that pressure and you don't know what to do. And I've got 3 years, I could do this or that. Another, you just wander around, you're lost, you have no energy, you have no focus. You're maybe playing video games, maybe you're watching porn, you're kind of distracting yourself in the moment. But but your energy is just being dissipated in 20 different directions. So your brain needs pressure, it needs constant pressure. And stress and pressure is not a bad thing. We have this thing where we feel like stress is bad. It's bad for you, bad. You need to relax, man, you need to chill. Stress will kill you. No, being bored will kill you. Not having anything to do will kill you is much more dangerous than stress.
You know that thing that you have to do that sucks? That thing? Yeah. Whether it's squats or your workout or going for a run or some paperwork or a project or cleaning up. That thing that you have to do that you know sucks. Well, the longer you wait, the longer it takes. Don't let that happen. Go on the attack, go get it done. We'll talk to you later. Out. But I'm gonna ask you one more time. I'm gonna ask you to go look in the mirror. I'm gonna ask you to take responsibility for where you are and admit to yourself that you are where you are because of decisions that you made, because of weakness that you had, because of your lack of ability to do the hard things when things got hard. That's why you are where you are. You know it, and I know it. So take responsibility for that. Take ownership of that. And start right now fixing that. Become the person who cannot quit. Become the person who can say no to the things that they know they're supposed to say no to. Become the person who makes the right decision regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the hardships, regardless of the pain, regardless of the frustration. If you become that person, you have no limits in your life. There is no stopping that person. And that is the only way to become who it is you truly want to be.
We have about 5 choices, in our life. We can be bad at what we do. We can be average at what we do. We can be good at what we do, which probably is God's expectation for whatever ability He gave us. Or we can be excellent, or we can be elite. And everybody has a choice as to what they want to do and how they want to do that. But if you're going to be excellent or elite, you got to do special things. You have to have special intensity, you have to have special focus, you have to have a special commitment and drive and passion to do things at a high level and a high standard all the time. And it doesn't matter what God-given ability that you have, that probably can make you good. But without the rest of it, I'm not sure you ever get excellent or elite.
It's not okay for you to be weak loser. It's not okay. And the reason it's not okay is because you could be way more than that. And it's a crime, an ethical crime, for you to allow all that necessary potential to go to waste. It hurts you, it hurts your family, it hurts the world. Really, really, it does.
Do not complain. I'm telling you right now, no one likes a complainer. If you're the type of person that complains, man, I'm not having a good day, things didn't work out for me, this went wrong, that thing happened. Listen, bro, don't be a complainer. I don't care if you're 15 or 25 or anywhere in between. Complaining is like kryptonite, man. It repels people away from you. Be a problem solver. Be an optimistic problem solver, right? You know how to be optimistic. You know how to solve problems. You know how to figure things out. The sad truth is, people want to, half the people are going to give you some bullshit sympathy when you complain, and the other half of the people are going to be secretly happy for you when you complain about your life's problems. And I don't want either. I don't want bullshit sympathy, and I don't want people to be happy for my misery. So why complain? If you are having life problems, don't complain. Instead, learn to solve problems. Learn to ask for help. Learn to figure things out. Learn to show up as an optimist and not a pessimist, because the optimistic problem solver who can figure things out is going to be like honey, man. You're just going to attract good people to you. And then the pessimistic complainer, the person who complains but never does anything about it, you're like kryptonite. You just repel people away from you.
What most people do is they back away from adversity. But if you want to see if you're a brave person, what they call the 4 o'clock in the morning courage, wait when things go completely to pieces, when things are the worst, when your very best deal falls apart and your rent is late and you're tired and you're sick and everybody is mad at you and your car doesn't work, then it's the person that picks themselves up and says, nothing is going to stop me. You know, the best quality in the world that you can develop, and I give it to you because I made it my life's habit to develop this quality. I hope I've got it, I don't know for sure. But the quality is to develop the quality of being unstoppable. Develop the quality of being unstoppable. Say in yourself that no matter what life throws at me, it'll never stop me. No matter how rough it gets, I will never quit. And nothing will ever stop me. Make the decision that you can be tired, you can be worn out, but nothing is ever going to stop you. That's a wonderful decision.
Success is this, and training and struggling and suffer and sacrifice, and then success is this. But this tastes so much more than this.
The unfulfilled potential is the story of most people's lives.
It is. It is. And it could have been the story of mine. And I tell a lot of people go, what's your biggest fear in life? And my biggest fear, honestly, was, let's say this. Let's say, I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care. So let's just play a game with me. Let's say you're God. And we have a big, long line of people. And I made it to heaven. 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I made it to heaven. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, spraying for cockroaches. That's what I did. But I'm dead. I'm in heaven now. And you're judging us all now. So we're in line. We're all sitting there in line. You have Adam Brown. He has a big board up, and you're talking to Adam Brown about his life. And you rip it down, and I'm next in line. David Goggins. I see my name. I see all this shit. And God goes, hey, you say, read this, man. And I'm reading this list, and I'm seeing 182 pounds, Navy SEAL, Ranger School, motivational speaker, changing lives. Okay, man, pull-up record, all this shit. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be.
God tells Abraham, if you leave your zone of comfort, if you remove yourself from your father's tent, if you move away from infantile materialistic satiation and go out into the terrible world, and you do that voluntarily, you have the adventure of your life, this is what will happen. You'll be a blessing to yourself that's genuine. So instead of being racked with self-doubt and being self-conscious and taking yourself apart with guilt and shame, you'll ride the wave of adventure and you'll feel that your life is a blessing. Not only will you feel that, it will be a blessing. That's the first thing that will happen. The second thing will happen is that other people will notice and your name will become renowned, and that will be valid. You'll be a blessing to other people in that regard. Your name will be upheld. So you'll stand out among your peers, but in a justifiable manner that's a consequence of your own intrinsic merit.
Let me tell you something. This isn't elementary school. This is hard work, long hours, high pressure. I need a grown goddamn man.
Why would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance? You know, Tone Bell was out here. He said at one point in time, you got to take a chance on you. But see, let me help you understand something, in case you ain't thought about that. When you take a chance on you, I want you to remember something, that all of us were created in God's image. So when you take a chance on you, you're taking a chance on God. It's because God is in all of us.
It's the what if I can pull off a miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call this and that, and now I'm speaking at Tom Ferry's event.
I don't like being too comfortable. Once you get used to it, it's hard to give up. I gotta stay hungry.
But I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. I look at them as attempts. I don't look at anything as failure. Because when you're going to try to do something, not trying is failure. That's not some after school special shit. But when you're able to go out there is no failure. It's attempts. Because when you're trying to do something that's bigger than you, whatever you are, whoever you are, if you're paralyzed, you're trying to walk one step and you didn't fail, motherfucker. It's your first attempt. If that's your biggest thing, that's how your mindset needs to go into everything. So I don't look at it as failure is a big word that gets people down. We give so much power to words. I don't. I take the power right away. I didn't fail shit.
Repetition is the father of learning. I repeat, repetition is the father of learning. Intelligence, all that comes from repetition. Awareness, preparation, all that comes from repetition.
I've heard you say that a good man is born to serve, not born to make money.
Absolutely.
What's that mean to you?
I think a real man is born to serve. And serve means provide for those that are in your sphere of you to provide for. It means to protect. It means to encourage. It means to teach and to train. And sometimes it means to step back and let them hit the wall. Sometimes the best service you can do for somebody is to, when it's all done, walk up and look down and say, did that hurt? You know, that's what they needed. But we won't do that because it makes us look bad, and even in our service to others, we do it for ulterior motives, you know. But yes, I believe that very strongly. I believe if you spend your whole life to yourself, for yourself, you have no purpose of being here. This planet is not in any way better for you having been here.
Having the ability and understanding you have the responsibility to keep your family safe is absolutely essential in being a man.
You have to be comfortable with who you are and with your masculinity. So the word masculine has now got like this negative connotation around it, which is terrible because you're a young man. It's not every young man. Some men don't feel this way. But a lot of young men, I remember myself, you've got this testosterone that's roaring through you. You're competitive, you're ambitious, you have goals, you have this energy, you want to assert yourself. But my idea of masculinity growing up was a man who was in control of himself, who wasn't mean, wasn't pushing people around, who was decent, who treated women well. So treating women well is a masculine virtue, is a good thing. It comes from a position of strength. You're not insecure about your masculinity. You don't have to prove that you're a man by demeaning women, by pushing them around, by calling them bitches, etc. You don't have to take the Andrew Tate path in life. You can respect women, and respecting them is a sign of your strength, is a sign of being secure in your masculinity. You don't need to put other people down to make yourself feel better.
That was the biggest thing. I had to stop caring what people thought about me. I realized that everybody's fucked up. That's the one thing I realized. I walked around and I put these people on a pedestal. Everybody was better than me. So I can't tell you anything about me because you're gonna judge me and I'm gonna feel even worse than what I am. What I realized, once I calmed my mind down and sat back and looked at how jacked up this world is, once you realize that you are not alone, everybody that's talking to you about how jacked up you are, only thing they've done better than you is they've hidden their f***ed up world better than you have. That's all they've done.
Here's how to get older without getting better. Keep relearning the same lesson. If you keep making the same mistake over and over, the mistake isn't the problem. You are.
It's 44 degrees and it's nice and rainy outside. But no one cares about that. It's not about the rain. It's what the rain represents. Life is always giving you a test, trying to give you a way out, trying to give you an excuse not to show up. This is my excuse today. But guess what? You gotta have the mentality to show up every day of your life, no matter what life throws at you. It's our responsibility to show up to the Coliseum of life, prepared for battle. I don't care what you're going through, what life's throwing at you. It's your responsibility to find your new 100%. Take it upon yourself to do that. Stay hard.
A friendly reminder that in 3 generations, everyone who knew us will be dead, including the people whose opinions stopped you from doing what you wanted all along. Imagine that someone you know achieves every dream and hits every goal they have. Years later, they get old and die. 2 years after that, how much do you care? About as much as everyone else will if you accomplish your goals and dreams. Do it for you.
If you're focused on the past, you're controlled by fear. If you're focused on the future, you're controlled by anxiety. If you focus on others, you're controlled by them. See, whatever you focus on owns you. If you focus on yourself, you're at peace.
You should push yourself beyond your limits of tolerance in your 20s to find out where it is. How much can you work? How disciplined can you become? Like, can you work 12 hours a day? Can you work 8 hours a day? Can you work 3 hours a day? Like, flat out. Where's your limit?
Set some rules on the amount of time you're spending looking at a screen. Put rules on that. Otherwise, that screen's going to rule you. Put rules in place. Eat clean. What are you doing? Put some rules around what you're putting into your body. Put rules in place. If you're just doing whatever, you're going to have problems. The food is going to rule you. Go to bed on time. Go to sleep when you're supposed time to go to sleep. And if you follow these rules that you make for yourself, you're going to have less things in life ruling you. You know, when you work hard enough, eventually you don't have a boss anymore. You're your own boss.
When you start saying things like, you know, I hope it's so f***ing hard that no one can do it. That way, when I do it, I'm that much more ahead of everybody. I want it so f***ing hard, to be so hard and so challenging, that when I get it, man, I reap all the reward. I don't want luck in the equation because I don't need it. You start saying terms like that, man, you're someone that believes it. You got confidence. I don't give what the endeavor is. You're gonna find a way to do it. That's the differential right there. That's the confidence that no matter what's in front of you, the never say die attitude drives you through it. And all your shortcomings and your failures along the way don't set you back, but just gives you a report card of where your weaknesses are and your strengths, so you can rebuild that weak chain of life to continue the path to success.
So when your plan fails, when those bolts of laws get too heavy, when you get knocked down the canvas, when everything falls apart in your life and your plan is up, what the are you gonna do? There's only one motherfucking option. Stay hard.
A new age has begun. An age of freedom. And all who know the 300 Spartans gave their last breath to defend it.
You never get used to the pressure.
You just learn to embrace it. Expectations aren't a burden, they're a privilege. Because it could be worse. No one could expect anything at all.